Eddington is a brand new 2025 film directed by Ari Aster, and this stars Joaquin Phoenix and Pedro Pascal, as well as Emma Stone in a supporting role and Austin Butler as another supporting role. A few other actors in here are as well, but those are the ones that I recognize. I don't recognize anybody else that I know of. And this is basically a film that takes place in 2020 at the start of the big global catastrophe that we were dealing with at that time. If you know anything about this film, or if you know anything about its premise, this clearly is naturally going to be a divisive film, just because of what it's tackling and the subject matter that it's dealing with. I can speak for myself as well as probably everybody else that I know. We like entertainment that doesn't remind us of bad times. We like entertainment that takes our mind off of bad times. So getting put in this situation all over again is never really everybody's cup of tea. But the trailer really hooked me, and I wanted to give this film a shot. And right from the get go, you know exactly what kind of film this is, and it. It doesn't really pick a side. I will give it that. We have Joaquin Phoenix as the sheriff of a small town, fictional town called Eddington, and then Pedro Pascal as the mayor of this town, and his term is coming to an end, so they're going to be re-electing a new mayor soon. And he's very, very on the left side. He's very pro-mask. He's very pro-vax. He's all about the everything embodying the left side of politics. And then Joaquin Phoenix is basically everything embodying the right side of politics. Now, I would say the first half of this film certainly leans in favor of the right, and then I would say the second half leans a lot more in favor of the left. I want to keep this spoiler free. This is a film to experience, and I do recommend this one a lot. I gave it a 4 out of 5. It has a very grim, grim ending, and I will warn people about that because even the ending took me by surprise. Now, this feels like an Ari Aster film. You can tell that Ari Aster is behind the production of this because it surprised me with a lot of gory moments that came up surprisingly out of nowhere. I haven't watched Beau is Afraid, so I can't really compare this film to Beau is Afraid. But comparing it to Midsommar and comparing it to Hereditary, it's not a horror movie by any means, but you can tell that Ari Aster's fingerprint is on this. I held up my thumb there. Thumbprint, whatever you want to say it, is on this film, absolutely. The gore scenes took me by surprise, and the ending is just wild. And then the very end of the film, the climax or the conclusion, is grim as shit. Like, holy. I was not expecting that, and it's a downer, it's depressing, and, it's, again, it's something that I'm just giving you a heads up about, but you can go experience it for yourself. But there's a lot of funny moments in this film. There's a lot of funny lines in this film, and I don't talk about politics on the channel, but for anybody who's watched it enough, I'm sure you can take a wild guess on where I stand. Even though I like to discuss things in the center, and I like being in the middle because I think either extreme is what ruins everything. The extreme of anything ruins everything. It's the when it comes to religion, it's the extreme religious or religious people. When it comes to anything, it's when it comes to clubs and sports and anything. It's always the extremes of that ruin it. So I believe that, but I also believe that politics. There's not really a reason to discuss them in the first place unless you're in government, so it doesn't really matter. But I was going somewhere with this, but yeah, I would say, yeah, that's it. I would say that it would be awesome to be a sheriff if I was a sheriff of a small town during this time. Oh my god, that would have been amazing because then I could actually put my foot down, and because I'm like running a city, I could run it my way, especially a small town. Like if it was a bigger city, then I would have to follow a lot more rules. But if I was the sheriff of a small town of like 1,000 some people, like man, that would be great. because I would just be causing so much mischief, and I would definitely be running it by my beliefs and rules and where I stand in politics. So I just loved Joaquin his character and his just his personality. And again, that's to be taken with a grain of salt, and that's to like I said, because the second half of the film starts leaning more towards like the left end of stuff. There are some things that happen to both Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix, but I'll just say that they're both not great people. Let's just put it that way. And Joaquin Phoenix is no saint at all. There's a lot of things, like I said, in the first half where I'm like, yeah, I'm all about this guy. But then in the second act, I'm like, oh, really? Come on, you're doing this? Come on, you're no better. You're no better. Don't be going there. And that's the truth with the whole thing, because a lot of people at the end of the day are hypocritical. No matter where you land, most people will behave like hypocrites if you really study them and get to know them fully. And once they start revealing, taking their mask off, revealing who they truly are, a lot of people are hypocritical. A lot of people are, you know, not always honest, and are capable of just fucking up, basically. And yeah, Joaquin Phoenix's character, I'm more behind, like I throughout the film, but even him, I'm first to admit that you're a piece of shit. And even though I'm not behind Pedro Pascal, most of his character, like for most of who he is, I'm not with him. But then there's moments where it's like, yeah, actually, you are right. Like I play devil's advocate when I need to. I don't like cognitive bias, and I don't root for somebody just because they align with me, so therefore I'm gonna 100% align with them. It's like, nah, you can, if you do something good, doesn't matter who you are, then I'll acknowledge it. If you do something shitty, no matter who you are, I'm gonna acknowledge it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna voice my opinion. Simple. But yeah, it's a wild film. There's a lot of violence in the third act. Again, surprisingly, there's this big like Gatling gun situation that happens without getting too much into detail, but that's a lot of fun. And this film, it just doesn't tackle the pandemic. It tackles like politics, other things that were going on at the time. A lot of Black Lives Matter, a lot of Antifa stuff, a lot of buzzwords that I don't even know how YouTube is going to react with this video of me saying that. I have to like, I don't know, bleep shit out, but that's not my style. So I'm just going to be talking about this film, and it'll land where it lands. But yeah, that's all I can say about it without spoiler talk. I would love to talk in detail and spoilers with this film, but as of now, I could basically just say go check it out because it's a wild experience. And yeah, if you don't mind reliving all that bullshit, go check it out because it's a wild ride. I'll just leave it at that. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I will be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.